How can a seeding drone help to protect and save a mountain? When fire becomes recurring, regeneration cannot be improvised. Portugal is entering a future where fire is no longer exceptional, it's cyclical, and we must be ready for it. In this new context, we need to face a country that has one of the highest wildfire rates created by arson. A country that has eucalyptus as the species most present in the whole territory. Drier and more extreme summers due to climate change create the perfect storm for more intense and rapid wildfires never seen before. So who would have thought the answer would come from the sky? Welcome to Silveira Tech. We're regenerating 230 hectares of mountain terrain and bringing 3 abandoned schist villages back to life.
Well, after the fire we arrived here and we noticed that most, not to say all, of the native ground cover and vegetation basically below 2 meters in height pretty much all burned down. The plants that thrived, that are still alive, are the ones that are native from habitats where brush fires are a part of the ecosystem. So that in our case it would be acacia and eucalyptus. And then we have oaks, which also survived in a large number, singed, but they're alive and sprouting as well.
And every tale needs the arrival of an unexpected hero, in this case a flying farmer.
It made a lot of sense that we would acquire a drone and then we would acquire the knowledge to actually fly it and use it instead of depending on someone else. I mean, ownership matters, like in these uncertain times and for a period in the future that we can expect even more extreme weather events to be more regular. We need to have the tools at our disposal. Having the best tools with us allows us to not only use them here, but maybe even elsewhere in this mountain range. It's so remote and such difficult access that it really needs someone with deep understanding of the land to do anything here, especially flying a drone.
But having a drone ourselves implies learning how to fly and pilot professional grade equipment. It was not an easy learning process. From binging all the videos and online courses I could humanly consume, to having lessons and support from an official agricultural drone teacher.
Wow. Let's see.
Yeah, it's in the gun.
It's just over here we have zero perception of what's happened, but over there it just went over a tree.
Learned a lot, a great deal.
Sowing by hand here in Silveira is very difficult. So there's 2 main things. So one of them is the terrain. It's very steep, it's very difficult, very rocky. So like the access to the most part of the land is very hard. So doing it by hand is just like very unrealistic and energy intensive. The other thing is when you seed by hand, it doesn't spread very well, so it's not very consistent. The main advantage of seeding by drone is that the drone is very precise on seeding. Like you say, oh, I want to seed 30 kilos per hectare, it's gonna seed like those 30 kilos very evenly. Yeah, evenly, that's the word.
So we have areas that are designated on the agricultural software that we use, but to get a really good understanding of where the roads are and stuff, we need to do an entire photo map of the area with the little drone, with the medium drone, and then upload that to the agricultural software, and then we're going to have an updated map to work with. And that turbine is it. As you can see, here we have a direct line of sight with the drone through the whole valley.
What's that?
This is the RTK unit, real-time kinematics. It's a GPS positioning, so the drone has very, very accurate readings.
That's a very cute design.
Yeah, it's nice. So mapping involves doing flights around the area with the medium drone, and then importing that data into the T50 software, where we can then get the elevation and then plan the routes and edit them according to what's in the way of the actual flight. This allows for lower altitude flights and better dispersion of seeds, which is what we're looking to do. Landing zone. Can you turn your hotspot on again, please, mate? You just need to do one thing. I can't fly.
Fog.
Fog, yeah, heavy fog. The mountain has its perks, and sometimes the weather plays tricks on us. But we will always have tomorrow. Welcome to my office.
Mapping with good weather.
Mapping with... what a luxury! Ah, gotcha. Yeah, going good. We've got quite a few areas mapped out now for detailed point clouds, so we can plan the altitude. Just finishing this one up now, and then we'll be coming back. We'll be landing the drone. Let's zoom out for a second. We're here, central Portugal, deep in the mountains of Lausanne. This is our land, totaling 230 hectares of area. And before a single seed is dropped, we need to know every metre of it. The mapping drone breaks down the land into manageable zones. The groundwork is what allows the DJI Agris T50 to come in and do its job.
The importance in seeding after a fire has to do with multiple factors. One of them is erosion, as I mentioned before. Having some ground cover, some plants that absorb the impact of water and that slow down the path of the water as it's running downhill. All of this will help keep the soil in place, as well as the function that the root systems of these plants play in keeping the structure of the soil together. And of course, anything we sow now that has a nutritional value for our herbivorous friends is good.
We made a few mistakes along the way, like underestimating how sensitive the obstacle avoidance system was, and generally planning as if it was one of the normal drones that we fly, when it's not.
See ya. Maybe not.
A rolling start, we got a rolling start.
So here?
Yeah, here looks good, mate. Yeah, we're right in front of it now. All right, sweet. So when you turn it on, it takes a minute to find all the satellites.
Okay.
So if we're
Ah, that's the controller. I thought it was a little
yeah.
robot face or something.
Yeah, it's a robot face, yeah, you're right. So, a few proposed solutions that didn't actually work out in the field was building a large platform and then an even larger platform to land on, and even trying to pick bits of land that we thought were going to work when in fact they were actually too small. Now it's going to turn. Learning took its time, but after every hour of study, every failed attempt, every recalibration, the knowledge is now ours. And now the real work begins.
Yeah, the seeds are growing here.
In the field, the workflow revolves around the generator. So we have this massive, I call it the power bank. It's this massive generator and it goes on the back of the truck with the T50. We get to the field, we deploy the T50, doing its automated flight runs so it can follow the ground really well. And we can keep it in the air pretty much the whole time. Very nice. Sure it's done? No. Every green patch on this map represents a hillside already seeded from the sky. Now it's time for the yellow zones, the next chapter of this mountain's recovery. Very nice, nice and gently.
Oh, that's what she said.
There we go. A little bit further.
That's also what she said. Stop it, John.
Without this fucking and
No, you're not.
that's what she said for a few
I got to.
few hours.
I got to. Be honest.
That's what she said.
Be honest. You're gonna be.
Yeah, I was just quoting you.
That's why. That's why you came up. You were like, oh my god, I missed.
It's a light, the seeds are heavy. Just show you free information.
Thank you for the lecture, Professor. Go over the van.
I'm spreading some seeds all over the van.
In the black sacks. There's no black sacks that you need. Oh shit.
We are experimenting 2 different types of seed mixes. So the idea is one seed mix is for erosion control. So we selected species that germinate really fast and they create like a really good ground cover so that they establish as fast as possible and they like keep the soil sticky so that there's no erosion. Oh, also we put some species to improve the soil health and for example also nitrogen fixers. On the other mix we also try to find species that are very fast growing so that they can outcompete the acacia on like the sun and they sort of, as I said, suffocate and don't let the acacia grow more. But that's very experimental. We're doing some tests and yeah, we'll see if we can find and see if this technique works.
This is take 4. Take 4 of the drone seeding. To say we've had a lot of problems. Where's the key?
It was below your bottom.
Oh shit. Take 5. To say we've had a lot of problems with drone seeding is an understatement. Oh, I started first time that time, man. I'm doing it now. Yeah, grab everything, mate, yeah. I've got the other battery. Putting it in. There you go. All right. There you go. Tear that hole, baby. All right. It lands, we cycle the battery, we cycle the seeds, and then it takes off again. And that battery then goes on charge, takes 7 to 9 minutes to charge a single battery, and these batteries are huge, and that's how we work. And as always, our biggest friend, Mr. Fog, has arrived. Every seed we drop by drone, every tree we plant by hand, it all adds up. It's not always glamorous, and it's definitely not always easy. But this land is responding. It's becoming greener day by day, and that's enough to keep us going. Silveira is growing, and you too can join the community. Become a patron now and help us reforest the mountain.